Oh, Sixes, just wanted to give you guys some video clips from last weekend. We know it was a dominant showing throughout the whole course of the event, but as always, we want to take a look at some things and maybe improve on in the attacking scenarios, finding early width, being a little bit more patient when a team has 7, 8, 9 players, on top of their 18 defending us. So, great entry pass in here to Madison. Can we maybe get a little wider in the attack here, Summer, considering, she can find Krista, but Madison can also find you right away. And you can see this player right here is already starting to cheat a little bit. So if you're out here, then she has a lot more distance that she has to cover to get out to you, instead of there being a quick, 50-50 ball or 50-50 challenge. So just take advantage of a little bit more time and space. Really important here. So good win here from Reagan. Now you can start to see the green team is getting really close, getting really compact. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players. 8 if you count her out here. If Addie turns this and scores, that's great. But when she doesn't, now we've got to maybe see, were there other options that Emma could have played right off the bat here. Do we have space here? To try and keep the ball a little bit. If not, doesn't matter. But now we're dealing with a transition to defend moment. Pretty good 3v2 from our backs here. But the situation on this diagonal, and this is pretty typical on a counterattack, teams are going to find the wide area and try and stretch us out a little bit. So what's really important here is making sure that we, kind of force her to play outside and keep her going outside and can't jump too much, and obviously got to work our way back, got to work our way back, got to work our way back. But keep her as far away from our goal as possible would be the optimal scenario there. If it's not quick enough in terms of getting the ball into our attackers, you can see how many players they have. Good run from Allie to come across. Numbers that they have, very important for us to recognize. Now is a situation, there's 5, 6 of them. Are we able to open them up a little bit more? Not necessarily out here, but maybe it's back, and then we can get wide, and find some openings there to get something out of it. Good idea to go back, but now can we open them up a little bit? Again, it's not that we can't score goals in this situation, but it's really just looking at the amount of green jerseys or the amount of the opponent, the amount of players from the opponent in that area that just, there's a different solution. So, we eventually get it out here, but there's still no width in this area that I think is something that's crucial in order to break down a team that's in a low block. So it looks like the run is being made, which is great. And Summer does a great job of going 1v1 as well, but we could have had that width a lot earlier if the pass had come out of the 18 much faster. And then that way we're already out here and we can just spread them out a little bit more. But again, just some ideas on how to open up these opponents that are, keeping their numbers behind. Well handled on the transition here. Probably could, use the goalkeeper to get it out to Reagan. Maybe even put your foot on the ball there, Ash, and just get it under control. But yeah, there's 2 green shirts running at you, so it can't fault you too much. But just maybe a little bit cleaner on that. Good diagonal ball to get the ball wide. And again, start to look at their green players. How many of them are getting inside the 18? They're all stepping, protecting in front of the goal. So can we open them up a little bit more? Can we make sure that we're not just playing into this area and maybe get some services from wide areas by playing the ball? So again, we talk about, like, we're trying to, push a square peg into a round hole, and there's just so many players here that the more we can open them up and use these areas, versus a team that has a legitimate counter-attacking threat, the better off we're going to be, and we're going to keep more possession of the ball. So this is initially a great wide pass. The next ball here from Madison, should be to our left back who's getting forward and then serving the ball in because we've got really decent numbers in. But again, I know it's a pattern and it's a theme. Look at how many players the opponent has, like right on the width of the six. And it's just always going to be difficult. And eventually we score, obviously, but just think about how it's going to be like against a high level opponent that's really dense on their 18, and we're going to have to come up with some solutions. Good entry pass there. And I wanted to highlight this because the shape here is really good. And, we've got a nice little diamond and triangle situation there where, maybe Ali can take a touch, but, maybe we can drop off a little bit and get the ball cleanly. And then we're off to the races, even bouncing it here and then switching the point of attack, lots of options. So really good. Just showing you guys how it starts. Like you can see what they look like spread out in our build up. Really good positioning from all five of you here, and now it's just execute that, and we're off to the races because they have 4 or 5 players in our half. And one more as we see how we great little run from Ali. I mean, watch how the two defenders right here, and again, I'm just highlighting this creating space for other players. These two players are here when Ali comes in. Watch how they both focus on her, and that's Sydney. I think that's Sydney or Summer. When the ball gets out, can go out wide here. Now we're in a really good spot. Sorry, Bella. So now it's just about rolling that ball into there and doing what we do. So a really good combination, good movement from Ali there to move the opponent. So all of you as forwards and attackers, just moving 5 yards really helps players. This one here, I think there's got to be better options for Ella as she's carrying the ball out. You can see that their players are all right here. Are we able to get into some open spaces? Can we come down and get this ball here so that we create a better angle to get out? Um, and again, just highlighting that similar to how they're defending in their own half or in their own 18, 3 of them are right here. So Ella's got to like thread the needle, but she should have better options to play, out this way here, or even into this gap here, which Addie is there, but didn't happen. And as we talked about, just a little more forced, and that's where we've got to make sure that we clean things up a little bit. Switching the point of attack here is a good option. Not a bad ball in. The difference of playing quick combinations, that helps. But again, as you can see, we're just trying to go through. But again, for the forwards, playing quick passes, Emma, Ali, Addie, all the girls that are playing there, Michaela, just make sure that if you're going to be in the middle, make sure it's 1 and 2 touch and fast. But again, we've got to open them up just a little bit more and maybe create some wide services and crosses. And they're an aggressive group that's just, dense and organized. Where is the space opening? Where are all their players? Is it worth dribbling into 3v1 or 1v3 with Daphne here when maybe we have more than enough ability to put our foot on the ball and open them up a little bit more, um, instead of just forcing. So quick ball security, transition to defend here. As we get this ball here, are we able to find a pass good skill there? Is there an option here to play the ball into feet? Remembering Ella is a center back, can she find Ali here? Madison there. Do we have cover? Are we shifting over? Again, recognizing that our center back is up high, and the ball just needs to be a little bit more secure before we can, get going and running. So again, if you look at our gap here, or our back line here, there's a lot of gaps and gates to play through. Midfield is in a pretty good position in terms of shutting down the middle. But again, we really have to be careful, about not securing the ball and then putting ourselves into a situation where, we're having to defend crosses like this that come in. So again, overall, as we mentioned to you, we're looking for things to focus on, and that's the theme of, going through the middle when there's a team that's really dense there is going to be really important for you guys to be able to break teams down that, sit in deep. So a couple ideas using with fast combinations, switching the point of attack, all those things, come into play, as we get going in these league matches. So hopefully some of you find this helpful. Get in touch with any questions.